today we're going to talk about the stages that each lead goes through and how we track that in Follow Up Boss. So right here we see this stage is a lead. And what a lead is our first awareness of somebody that may be a prospective buyer or seller that we can work with. And so when we see the stage of lead, that means somebody needs to jump on and get in a hold of that person and figure out where we need to put them. See that leads come in, and all lead is somebody that we don't know whether or not it's a real person. We don't know if it's a fishing expedition. We don't know if it's a spammer, but it's a name and a phone number or an email address that we can pursue to see if they are indeed somebody we can work with. And what we see here is a visualization of the sales process. We got leads come into the funnel and we work them all the way through the funnel. They become buyers and sellers. They eventually get under contract and they become past clients. But as you can see, there's a lot of other steps we didn't hit. So let's hit all these one at a time. Okay, when a lead comes in, the first thing we want to do is qualify that lead. Okay. So when we've reached out and tried to talk to that lead, we change their status to qualify. Doesn't mean qualified. It means we're still trying to qualify the lead, but at least somebody has tried. So you have to look at the lead record to see what have we tried to do, and is there another way maybe I can reach out to these people. For example, maybe our ISA reached out with a phone call and got a voicemail, so maybe you want to try a text or an email. Once we make contact with that person, whether it's by phone or email or by text, we call it verified. And what that means is we've verified the contact information. We have not verified that they're a great lead. We have not verified they're moving to Tallahassee. All we have verified is that they do respond to one of the phone numbers or email addresses that we have for them. And as you can see, a verified can continue to move down the sales funnel, or a verified can be disqualified immediately. Maybe there's someone that is not moving to Tallahassee, and what we want you to do is try to place an outgoing referral. If you can hook them up with an agent in another market area, you can make a good referral check and really not have to do much work. So if their OGR, if their stage is set to OGR, we know they're not moving to Tallahassee. They're moving away and we've already referred them out. Okay, another disqualified stage is a contact. Maybe you talk to them and you find out they're an FSU student doing research on the housing market. Anything where you qualify them as not being a buyer or seller for us, we call that a contact. Unless it's a realtor. If it's another realtor, maybe in Tallahassee or a realtor from another market area, always change the stage to realtor if they're a real estate agent, because we know that that is one subset of people we're probably not going to make any money with. All right, and then vendor. There's a lot of times people will come to our site just to get our phone number to call us because they're doing surveys for us or appraisals or whatever. So if they're a local vendor, you definitely want to put vendor, because we want to keep them in our database. We want to know about them, but we also don't want to think of them as a prospective piece of business coming down the pike. Then there's trash. Generally speaking, I don't want you to use trash. I want our management team to put the people in the trash, but when we have a lead, the number one use of trash is when we have a lead that has a bogus name, bogus phone number, bogus email address. Really, you don't have anything, so that is trash. And we identify it as trash, and it's a nice way of throwing it away. If we have valid contact information, we don't want to trash them, because if they come back to our site and we know we don't want to do business with them, it'll save a lot of time if they come back to the site as a contact or as a realtor or whatever. All right, so let's get back to this verified. Once we have verified they're a real person and somebody we can communicate with, we need to identify, are they a hot prospect? Meaning, did you set an appointment to meet with them? Typically, we label someone as a hot prospect as soon as we schedule an appointment, but there are times when we label someone as a hot prospect even though an appointment's not scheduled. And that would oftentimes be in the case when we just have calendar issues and we're trying to get that set up. Okay, a nurture is somebody that we think is a prospect, but not immediately. A nurture is typically someone who's going to be doing something 6 months from now or even more into the future. And you can see that's why the nurtures by this big band up top, they're going to stay at the top of the funnel. Hot prospect starts moving down. Okay, a buyer is somebody that we're actively helping look for buyers. A seller is somebody who we've already listed and we've got their house on the market. And then the pending. Pending means we either have a buyer under contract to buy a home or a seller under contract to get their home sold. And then after we have them closed, they change to past client. Occasionally, you'll see some statuses pop up that are not on this slide, and I need you to ignore them. That is an error. Sometimes you'll see closed. Sometimes you'll see sphere. Okay, we don't put those in stages. If you're someone, if you're a sphere of influence that we haven't done business with, that's a contact. And so, like Agent Mary could go in there and put Joe Jones in there, call it a contact, but also tag him. Okay, tag him, not stage, but tag him as a sphere of influence. So we'll get into that in another video, but this is generally what the stages are. It is very important that you internalize this, because if you will properly change stages on your people, you'll know what your funnel looks like and you'll know what your prospects for making a big check next month look like. So keep your people properly staged so that you can spend your time where you need to.